Welcome back to another very special episode of Stream of Thought, episode number 107.
107. Rix is back for a surprise visit.
Goodness, I'm in town literally for a couple of hours. Decided I'd stop in,
Yeah.
and we tape an episode.
So how do we start things off? You give us the 411 on what's been going on.
I do. I have a unique garb on.
Yes.
That I kind of share with Victor. What's going on with
So,
my life? These
He
past
shares
couple of
what's been
weeks.
happening, why he was in New Jersey, and then we
Why my name is
changed.
Father Rix?
Yeah, why your name is Father Rix. And then we change gears, and I tell a very funny story regarding how I...
Opportunities taken.
Opportunities that are taken.
And the joy that comes out of just being a man.
It has to do with a girl.
Oh, it does. Oh, it's great. And then we transition. I tell a little bit about the nightmare that is my Greenpoint drywalling experience.
The living nightmare.
Quote unquote drywalling.
Yes.
The living purgatory.
Living
Absolutely.
purgatory.
Yeah.
And then just end things off with a quick story
With a stream of thought.
that is told in about 5 to 6 minutes that otherwise could have been summed up in 30 seconds because what's a story?
Spoiler alert.
What's a story by Victor Marquez unless you have completely unnecessary details?
Yeah.
It has to do with McDonald's.
God, I've missed this so much.
Right?
I'm really glad we were able to tape this episode.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite already.
For sure.
Really.
So with that being said, episode 107, Stream of Thought. We hope you enjoy. I don't know.
No, just cool to reminisce.
Anyway, Rix is back in town for a surprise visit.
Oh, I'm in town for a couple of hours, and I was like, Victor,
Yeah.
we have to do this.
So tell us about the outfit that you're wearing.
What do you mean outfit?
Your
It is my
uniform, your garb.
It is my natural essence now.
He's wearing
What am I wearing?
You're wearing some black leather shoes with black pants, a black short-sleeved shirt, and what looks to be a white collar to signify that you are, in fact, a pastor, priest, someone of the church.
Someone of the church. You didn't grow up Catholic, did you?
No.
Okay. Your dad wasn't
I
Catholic?
didn't grow up anything. I grew up going to church for like a couple of years because it was like that thing that you're supposed to do, and then we just stopped going because no one felt like going.
Was anyone Catholic on your dad's
I think
side?
my dad. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think my dad grew up. I have no idea.
Really? They didn't
I'd
talk about
imagine
religion at all?
so.
Because I know your dad and I had conversations about religion a couple of times.
But I never grew up going to a Catholic church.
So, yes, I'm a Catholic priest now. That is what I just came from, and very interesting journey. I mean, I don't want to really ramble on too much about it, but it's not Roman Catholic,
Okay.
which is different. This is Old Catholic. So basically,
Oh, you were telling me about this.
what
a
do
little
you
bit.
what do you remember about it?
It was. Wait, so it's.
What are
There's
the
the two groups again?
There are three groups: Eastern Orthodox,
Yes.
Roman, and Old Catholic.
Old, you said, was like not what you'd think. It adheres to like the actual true beginnings, which is like open arms for everybody.
Yeah,
Right.
that all are welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, and it's a really weird history where it goes back to, I believe it's 1850 or so. So there was the first major schism of religion,
Yeah.
Catholic and Eastern Orthodox, and that was back in, I want to say like the 1300s, but it could be later than
I
that.
wonder if people from the 1300s, if they was even on their mind, like, can you even fathom people still being around, like, in 700 years?
Oh no! Well,
Like,
at
what?
this day, like I'm never gonna die, so it
Being in
doesn't
the
matter.
1300s,
Yeah.
like, what even? Oh my God, I don't know. Go continue.
So anyway, the schism that is important to this is that in 1850 there was a split. What was it? I believe it was that a bishop in, I believe it's
Bishop walks through a law.
Lyon, France, or Utrecht, died, and as opposed to that was around the same time
Yeah.
as like it was shortly thereafter that the First Vatican Council happened, which a lot of like things were clarified within the Catholic Church, including papal infallibility.
Yeah.
Along with a bunch of other things. But when the bishop died, the bishops of that area had elected a new bishop of their own without seeking authority from the Pope or confirmation from the Pope. And so the Vatican was kind of silent on it. And they didn't say yes or no. Because when they say no, like it's no or you're excommunicated kind of thing. And so they were silent on it. And so they had this sort of unconfirmed bishop, or a bishop that was not seen as really, legitimate. And so that bishop died. Another bishop took over, and in the same sort of format without papal authority.
It just kind of
grew. I think it was one more bishop ended up going through. And at about that time, it was the First Vatican Council, and I believe that the Pope then appointed a bishop to that same area, and there was already a bishop there. And so suddenly it was like, okay, now there are two bishops, like in this area. So
two bishops battling for the same turf.
In the old Catholic Church is because in the area that it started, I believe Utrecht, they were there first. And so to distinguish them from the Roman Catholic Church, they became the Old Catholic Church because they were there first, even though it was 1850 that it happened. And so they ended up spreading out across the world, really, for basically, countering the idea that they did not believe in papal authority. And so that's kind of the long and short
Got
of
it. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting because that grants the church the ability to say all are welcome. Like anyone can come to the communion table if they are willing to accept the body and blood of Christ.
Yeah.
Like you I don't want to say you don't even have to believe in it, but you can have your doubts or whatever, but you just have to be willing to accept it.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So it's very, very different from the Roman Catholic, which is like you got to be Catholic or you can't take communion. But everything else is the same: liturgy, rites, all these different components of the Catholic faith are the same, other than saying, the Pope cannot dictate that homosexuals are not allowed.
So how long was this process for you? What were some hoops that you had to jump through?
I could get in trouble by saying this.
Okay. Then don't say it.
No. I think it's fine. But I mean, really, it was quite a speedy process. I think over the course of, really, in reality, it was like 6 months. That the first conversations began and all of that. But the initial sort of, certain ceremonial components happened over the course of a month and a half, 2 months.
Nice.
So I kind of just went very quickly through it. And part of the reason why that happened as well is because I had already been an ordained minister in the United Church of Christ. And so I had gone to seminary. I had the credentials of a pastor. I just wasn't sort of raised in the Catholic faith.
You already had several prerequisites going into this.
I think that the learning curve is steep, but I can kind of deal with that, and I think that luckily my bishop and my archbishop were thought that put that trust in me that I would be able to like keep up with the curve kind of thing. So yeah, it's been a very fast process. So right now I'm Father Ricks.
Nice.
Now, officially. Although I don't know, like.
I saw the
people
Facebook
are weird.
photos. Everyone's super happy for you. I'm seeing a lot of Facebook activity
Well,
with your name attached to it.
That's kind of weird
So and so
too.
is with Rick Thorcell. So and so, congratulations, Rick Thorcell. Blah blah blah. Proud of you, Rick Thorcell. Rick Thorcell. Rick Thorcell. Rick Thorcell.
Are you serious?
All these photos, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's that, and that's the thing. I'm not somebody who seeks out attention or
I know, that's why I was like,
attention.
what is going on? You never do you just have a Facebook account, you don't really use it at all. Which is why I was so surprised that your name was coming up on the news feed a lot.
don't use it. I still haven't posted anything. Like the most I did was change my like background on and that was what, like a couple of weeks ago. But I'll be honest, it makes me feel kind of uncomfortable. Like I don't like that my name keeps popping up, like bombarding people's feeds. It's like, no one.
Well,
who
you
is
know what I do
not
is
part-
because
like,
when I see a bunch of dumb shit, I click
Yeah,
on
you
it
can-
and
you
I
can remove all.
unfollow all their crap.
But it's like, I mean, I don't want to call it like burning bridges, but it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, maybe I should have configured my settings to like approve photos or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
sort
you
of,
can
like,
do that, yeah.
to moderate
Yeah,
the
yeah.
amount that comes out. 'Cause
You can do
I'm
that.
very happy that like people are joyous about it. It's just
You don't
I have a
you don't
thing-
want to feel like you're being someone's spam.
Exactly, and yeah, and in social media form, like too, that's kind of
Yeah.
a thing. So, yeah. So, well, the ship has sailed in that.
Yeah, lately the only Facebook activity that I've had lately in the last couple it's been so much more activity than I've had in like years. But I've been like frequently on a few items posting like, hey, by the way, this is on eBay if anyone wants it. Like, but it's like cool stuff. It's
Oh,
like my
okay.
old Game Boy Color Pokemon Game Boy and like a Star Wars toy and like
Why didn't you tell me about that?
a couple Star Wars
I would totally buy
things. It's sold already.
that. Oh, you!
I've only
little,
put like of the
you
20
know
things
how much I
of the
love
20
Game
things
Boy.
I have put on eBay. I only put like 5 other things on Facebook that I thought people would maybe our age would think is cool just for nostalgic purposes.
Curse you.
And then I just put like my promo for the play that I did on Saturday, which dude, this was a very interesting experience. So, because I had been telling you, first I should ask you, what do you recall that I had told you before, if
Like,
anything? Because we didn't talk about it very much.
No, this would have been what, like 2 weeks ago?
Probably.
Something. Oh my goodness, I honestly, dude,
You don't remember anything.
I
Perfect.
don't. Yeah.
So it was a murder mystery themed play, like a dinner theater. So like dinner was served, and then after dinner we did the show, and so I auditioned for this like back in May. So like 3 months ago I auditioned for this, and then like 2 weeks later they told me, or a week later I got the part, and we rehearsed for about 2.5 months, right? And during the rehearsal process, like there's like 20 of us in this show. And for some reason, there was always like at least probably 5 or 6 people that weren't there. Like I remember my first.
Really?
Yeah. So
you were missing 25%.
Yeah, like
Most
almost the
times.
whole time.
Wow. And was
And,
it
like,
like rotating, or was it the same people who weren't there?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't recall. I missed one rehearsal, but the thing is
Okay.
too, it's like as an individual, if you're like, oh, I'm missing one rehearsal, there might be a few other individuals that are missing, and there were pre-scheduled dates that people couldn't be, like they told them ahead of time, like, hey, if I get cast, like I can't make it on these days.
Yeah.
So there was that too. So I don't really know what the dynamics were between like, oh, they're just missing last minute and this was a scheduled absence or whatever. But anyway, what I'm getting at it is nobody felt like we all felt like behind, and so like the going into the day of the show, everyone still is like there's like confusion with like the lines and with the blocking and everything, because some of the actors got cut because they weren't ready, so the director just cut them, and so then their portion in the play had to be cut, but then you had to redo the lines because someone's line is like, that had to do with something that someone else said, but that part has now been omitted, so that line has to be omitted or changed.
Okay.
The same going into it,
Yep.
going into a dialogue that has been omitted or something like that. And then we were originally going to do the show in the sanctuary because it was in a church. We were originally going to do it in the sanctuary, but then the director's like, no, I don't want to have them eat dinner in this room and then move them to this other room, so let's just do it in this other room, which there was enough space. So like the blocking had to change just a little bit. This is like 3 or 4 weeks in. And so just like all these different elements. And then like people were like complaining a lot. And if it's one thing I've learned in the short time that I've been doing this, it's shit changes and you need to adapt. Like things are out of your control and you can't complain about it. It's just how it is. You just need to adapt and just go with it. And then I realized just today, I was kind of thinking about it. It's like, well, the people like that were constantly like complaining about something, like those are the people that like didn't have their lines memorized by the time you were supposed to have the lines memorized. And a lot of this stemmed from like you're supposed to have your lines memorized by a certain date. That way you don't have to worry about them and you just focus on the blocking. But like some of these people didn't have their lines memorized when they were supposed to, and so this dragged on the rehearsal process because going into the weeks where you're supposed to have them memorized, like we would stop because like someone forgot a line or like it just slows everything down. So there's like just a whole just slew of variables as to why people didn't feel as prepared as they should have. And the very last rehearsal, people are like, "Oh, I don't know that it wasn't a reassuring final rehearsal." And then the actual day of the show, we did another run through, and I don't know how, but miraculously, after that, everyone felt really, really good. Like finally, like getting everything orchestrated. It was actually pretty entertaining for me because during this whole time, the main portion where there was like confusion with lines and blocking had nothing to do with me. Like I was there.
So you could just sit back and observe.
Like I was there, but I didn't. The audience wouldn't be looking at me because there was the stage, but there was also moments where we were like woven in with the different tables, kind of.
Okay.
But I wasn't on stage.
Yeah.
And so for like 6 weeks, I'm just like, man, I'm just happy I got my shit down and my scene is okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And so we're going through. I'm like, okay, we got this. And I have the final line in the show prior to it completely ending. And before they guess before they select who the murderer is. And the whole time I was like, man, these people, it sucks to be them. I'm so happy I got my shit under control. I got my lines memorized. I know what my blocking is. Like, I'm just concerned with me and everything's good. And on stage, during the performance, there's a portion that got switched last minute. And my last line, you know, where's Sparkle? And then she comes up on stage and dies. Prior to that last section, they switched it so she came on stage and died. And then they start the last portion of the dialogue that's like 2 minutes where everyone's talking. I'm like, oh, fuck, they just killed this person. My line, where's Sparkle? She's dead. That's where she is. What the hell am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
And so I say like, oh, I miss Sparkle because she had already died, and I pretend to cry and everything. And I just thought it was so ironic that this whole time I felt very confident. All my shit was under control. I'm cool. I'm witnessing the mishap amongst other people. And
you are forced
the
into
final show, during the show, this happens, and it happens to me, and so I just adapt, and I just say I just change the line a little bit.
I thought that's great.
But I just thought it was so funny. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Dude, I give you props for doing that because I'm
yeah, right?
Where's Sparkle?
But the funny thing is, too, is that, like, the audience, because we talked to the audience afterwards, everyone had, like, a great time. No one would have ever guessed that there was just so much
chaos,
confusion behind the scenes. Literally up to right until the moment before the show started.
I can totally relate to that. I can absolutely relate to that. Yeah.
I
mean, the fact that you were able to put on like this calm performance.
Oh, it was fine. Yeah, everyone was totally cool. Yeah, so, I don't know, but because and one thing that happened too, I realized during the show was that because there was like a small intermission, someone dies and they're on stage, and then there's a small intermission and everyone leaves, and then we come back and resume places.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, the actor that played the dead body wasn't there, and so one of the guys, Paul, says, "And that dead body, that's because that's his line, right?
No,
he
didn't actually just roll with it, did he?
That dead body, and then he realized, and then there's a moment you realize that the body's not there, and then there's a very mild pause, like, oh shit, and someone's like, wait, I thought there was a body there. Oh yeah, what happened to the body? I don't know. And so you just improvise, you just roll with it, which is what the director wanted us to do. Like, if something happens, like, you just improvise, and that's what you do anyway, even if it's not like an improvised show, right? But what sucked too was like during rehearsal when that would happen, everything would completely stop. Like, wait, this, that, this, and she kept saying over, and a lot of us was like, who cares? Like, just go with it during rehearsal. Just keep it going, and then come back instead of like always stopping. But it was a great show. I had a great time. It was a lot of fun. But just goes to show you, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Yeah, it was a lot of
That
fun.
is so funny. Do you feel like that's the case most of the time? Like
I don't
where
know.
it's just-
I don't have
Like,
like a
you
ton
have-
of experience doing theater. I'm like just starting
not
out.
theater.
But
I'm talking about like any acting gig. It's because I know
Yeah.
you had that like rough time with that like dating couple who were like wanted you to do a
get
billion
this.
different things.
Get this. So you know how I was talking so much shit about them? I was contacting them because I wanted to get the footage for my reel. They're fucking not replying to my phone calls or text messages, and the only thing I can think of is that they happen to see a link on Instagram or something for the podcast, and they just so happen to listen to an episode where I'm just talking shit about them. That's the only thing I can.
You know, that probably
Right?
is the case, actually.
If you're being a dumbass, I'm gonna call you out, and I don't care.
Oh my goodness.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Right.
Gosh.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That would make so much sense because
that's the only conclusion that I
they
can
were
draw.
like, oh, we want you to do this other
That's
stuff
the
in the
only
future,
conclusion
you know,
that I
kind
can
of
draw.
thing. Wow.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
I don't care.
I don't
I'm not
care.
gonna be apologetic about something I say.
I was wondering, you know, those little spikes or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe it's people
Fuck
listening
it.
at the wrong time.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Just trashing all the wrong people at the wrong time.
So I really talked shit about them in like 2 episodes, and I only talked
Oh.
about it for like probably 5 or 10 minutes. And
I know, but
I mean, if you were to all of the minutes that we have recorded, and they happen to stumble upon those,
they
that's-
happen to step.
Maybe they didn't, and they're
Maybe
just, and
they
they,
didn't.
I don't know.
And
I
they're
don't
just-
know.
they're
But that's
just-
the only logical thing I can think of.
Irresponsible.
That's the
Let's
only
trash
logical.
them. Let's trash
yeah,
them again right
That's
now.
the only logical thing I can think of.
Oh wow, yeah. No, I mean, I would say the probability is like not insignificant.
And then I was thinking too, during one of those episodes, I was talking shit about their school too, just because I was going on a rant and I was just upset and just
Venting Victor.
I was just going, venting Victor hardcore, and I was like, oh shit. I hope this doesn't come back to bite me in the ass in like 10 or 15 years.
No, I know.
But then I was like, you
absolutely
know
agree.
what? I'm not doing anything dumb on like Twitter. You know, it seems like that maybe like the social media with like actual text is probably easier for someone to fish than audio.
Oh,
but fuck
absolutely,
it. If you
yeah.
find this shit in 10 to 15 years, I'm still not apologizing.
Dude, that's good. Stick by your guns, man. Because trust me, like you've heard the stories about the internet trolls recently who've
Yeah.
been digging up everything about like just celebrities.
Yes,
trying
yeah.
to destroy people.
Yeah.
Like James Gunn.
Yeah,
Oh,
we talked
that-
about that like the last couple one of the episodes that you were back in town.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's just you got to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
'Cause, but no, stick by your guns.
For sure.
I think that it's truth, man.
So what else is new?
What else is new?
Or have you been so focused on this like you haven't really? How's the bicycle?
Oh, I don't know about that. I have less than 24 hours, and I'll be back in Minneapolis. And oh, dude, I have not slept more than 4 hours a night. I've probably a total in the past
Really?
5 days. I've probably gotten like 10 hours, 11 hours
Why?
of sleep. There's just so much going on. Like
Oh.
it's just went go 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 go. So I had all the ordination prep. I was helping out with weddings. I was helping my bishop with weddings, and Bishop Joe. And I ended up going to Greenpoint in Brooklyn, my old home church,
Yeah.
and doing some repair work for.
Nice.
What? Okay, yeah. No, I may have met someone interesting, but that's
No, that's cool.
It's cool. It's cool.
That's cool. No,
By the
let me-
way, I want to caveat that is that old Catholics are great because not only do they accept the gay community, women, but they accept married people, and people can have relationships
Yeah.
and things like that, which is
it's
kind of
more
cool.
modern.
So,
Yeah. Dude, let me tell you this interesting story about because based on the very subtle information you just told me, where you said I may have met someone interesting. So this one time at summer camp, like 5 years ago, when I was working at a Boy Scout camp, I have met this girl, and we got along so great, and we're always hanging out together. And she was like at the Cub Scout like this huge ranch, and it's like there's a Cub Scout camp, there's a Boy Scout camp, and then there was like another Boy Scout camp that was like for hardcore, like you go hiking the entire week in the mountains and then you come back on the last day. Whereas like the other camps, you're just there hanging out, sleeping in your tent on the grounds, and you run around and do other shit. Anyway, on like the last day, we're hanging out, and I'm like, shit, like I've been vibing with this girl like real well. Like haven't really kissed or held hands, just like hanging out, enjoying each other's company and everything. I'm like, shit, final day of camp. What's it gonna be, Victor? What's it gonna be? And so she's driving me back to the lake where I need to go for the day, because the last week of camp I was helping out with like one of the merit badges. I wasn't hiking or anything. And so like her car is all packed and everyone's at this point is packed, ready to go. We're just gonna finish out the day and then go home. And it's the middle of the afternoon, and she drives me back to where I need to go. And I'm like, shit, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? I'm like, don't wimp out. But it's awkward because like I don't have a moment alone with her. It's like in the car, she's driving. There's someone in the passenger seat.
Oh, there's someone in the passenger
I'm
seat.
sitting behind her,
Oh,
and then there's someone.
You did not specify
and then
that.
there's somebody sitting. And then there's somebody sitting
There's
next to me.
two other people
so
in the
there's
car?
4 people in the car, and
Oh,
I'm sitting directly
man.
behind her.
Okay.
So they drop me off. They stop the car, and she's like, "Bye, it's great hanging out with you." Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And give her a hug, and then without even thinking, I just go in and I give her a kiss, and then I'm like, "All right, bye," and I get out of the car and I'm walking to where I need to go. I'm like, "Holy shit! What? Oh my gosh! Did I just do that? That was so crazy." And it was just really, really funny. It was very comical. And this whole time I'm sitting at the lake, and I'm just thinking, like, I wonder what they're thinking in the car right now. Because it's so unexpected. You can laugh. You're covering up your face and everything. You're just like...
No, it's
So-
more in my...
So it's in your mind. You're trying to play it out. Yeah. Yeah. I know why. Yeah, I got you. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, this is so funny. I wonder what they're thinking, because it was so surprising. Like, imagine if you're in that situation where, like, you're with one of your friends and then some guy just kisses her and you're like, wait, what just happened? Anyway, dude, it gets better. Because I'm laughing about it. I go back to the commissary for lunch, where a few of us are, right? And people are talking over the radio and everything. And they're like, oh, okay, Caroline and so-and-so, they're coming back. I was like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, they're coming back. Like, they forgot something, so they're going to be here in, like, 15 minutes. I was like, And at that point...
That's actually what you were talking about. Oh, that was not part of the plan. That is not what I was hoping for.
That was not a part of the plan.
All right, reassess.
Yeah. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Not compute.
Danger, Will Robinson. So I'm like, shit. At that point, I'm looking around. I'm seeing all these motherfuckers drinking their fruit punch, eating their rice, and they have no idea of what I know. Right? What I know. And I'm sitting there like when you see a fucking squirrel on the ledge and it's trying to figure out, like, should I or should I not cross the street? So much fucking confusion going on in street.
I could see your just wait, that
I don't know what's going on.
Door. She's coming. No, other
I
way.
have no idea what's happening.
Under table.
So like I'm like eating, I'm like whatever. And I think I like go inside the building to like put my dishes away or like something weird like that. And I hear like doors close, like 1, 2, 3. Oh fuck, that's a car.
Yeah.
I walk out and they're all there, and everyone's saying like, "Oh, I thought you were leaving. Oh, I was, but we forgot something. Oh my gosh, so glad I can give you another hug. Goodbye." And so, as she gets out, her and I make eye contact, and no one else has any idea of what happened like a couple hours
Other than the
before
two
this.
people in the car?
The 2 people in
Were
the car.
they still there?
Yeah, they had gotten out, but they didn't say anything. They weren't snitches or anything.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're talking to each other just for like a few minutes, and it was funny because there were a bunch of people around, so it's not like we were alone. But she gives me a hug, and she gives me a kiss on the cheek because there's people around, so she didn't want to like give me a real kiss.
Oh, for sure.
But she said something to me like, I can't remember what it was that she said to me, but she said something that was related to the kiss that was kind of witty, and it made me realize like, okay, cool, like I'm in the clear, yeah, and so she then like they get back in the car like 20 minutes later, and they leave and everything, and I'm texting her. We're texting each other for a while, and she's telling me how like, yeah, when that happened, we were all just like, wait, what the fuck just happened? But then she was like, no, but I'm like really happy that you kissed me, this and that and the other. And we were texting each other for like a couple months after camp ended, and this was actually almost exactly 5 years ago, because Lollapalooza was like 2 weeks later, which I went to, and she was gonna try and come visit Chicago and to hang out with me at Lollapalooza, and she was originally gonna be like, oh, I can't go, and then she's like, oh, by the way, I told you I couldn't go, but really I was gonna surprise you, but now I can't. I don't know why I said that, but I was gonna surprise you, and now I don't, because it's like, well, why would you even fucking tell me that if you couldn't come anyway? But I don't know. But it was
no.
it was
I
fun.
mean, it's like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
well,
we texted.
yeah.
That was in July/August, and we were texting each other back and forth for like probably 3 months, and that was the last time that I had.
But still,
was in
like, if you saw her
contact
again
with her.
and you guys were both single, like, it would still be
Yeah.
like, good rapport.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
you know,
Yes.
maybe something.
Yes.
Whatever. Oh my goodness. It's so, yeah. I mean, it's so interesting to hear. It's so interesting to hear sort of the insight of what happens when you actually take a risk like that.
Right.
I mean, really, especially at the age that we are right now. I mean,
Yeah.
like, and this was what, a couple of years ago?
Because this is like 5 years ago.
5 years, yeah, 5 years ago, but still, I mean, you know, mid-20s, late
Yeah.
20s, like, we're at the age where we're adults. It's like, do it or don't.
Yeah.
But get off the pot, right?
Yeah. It sets the tone. Like,
Yeah,
listen, these are my intentions.
it's-
If it's not
that's-
yours, then I'm wasting my time.
I think that's a valuable lesson for most people.
Yeah.
And one person in particular. Oh my goodness. Wow. No,
But
I
here,
think
let me
that's-
help.
that's
Let
a
me make you
really-
feel a little better. Because another time, a couple years ago,
Yeah, is there a
I
time
went
that it
out.
did- well,
I went out with this girl, and it was like this similar scenario. Had a really great time, and then at the end, for whatever I don't know why, I just didn't kiss her, and then it was a great time. We were trying to meet up, and it just never happened. And then that moment had fleeted. But whatever, fuck it.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
only learn by experience.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, cowardice. I mean, like I don't know. It's very interesting. Do you feel like you are like most guys would
You
in
mean
taking
like
the chance of saying F it, like I'm gonna do it?
Well, here it's interesting because I've had a few different experiences that continue
Unique,
even at the age of 30
yeah.
are continuing to help me just hone my craft and hone these skills into flirting with girls, right? It's like this never-ending process of just always learning more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah, that's
right?
fair.
Because another time that there was a girl that I was interested in, we were talking, having a great time, always texting and calling each other. And then I had asked her out, and she was like, no. And I was like, are you fucking serious? I was just so surprised.
Did you think she was into you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But then I realized my mistake. Well, I couldn't really call it, like, I just didn't really know at the time. But now what I figured out now was like, what I should have done, knowing that I know now, was not even have asked her out, but to have continued to just like try and woo her to the point where like she almost would ask me out.
You think that would work?
No. Well, no.
But you thought that was like
not thinking that I'm too cool for school, but I should have I
be a little more coy in your approach.
Not exactly,
less,
but
yeah.
I think I should have allowed
long game.
I think I should have allowed a little bit more time.
Okay.
I don't know. It's you don't fucking
No, yeah,
girls. We
it's-
have no idea sometimes what the fuck we're doing when we're trying to deal with you guys because trying to think about it is just making me. I just
Frustrated?
can't. There's no rhyme or reason. And I'm sure they feel the
No,
same way
I
about
know,
guys. There's
I
like
know.
no rhyme or reason behind behavior.
But you know,
Oh my goodness.
adults, man. I think we are
But
all.
they're
we are all
so
adults.
pretty.
And I know. Yeah.
Here's the
So-
thing, though, too, is like pretty girls that I'm attracted to are like my kryptonite because my powers just
Your what? Say
dwindle.
that again. Kryptonite.
Okay.
Okay.
Kryptonite.
Kryptonite?
I didn't say kryptonite.
Okay.
Kryptonite, because sometimes even when I'm in a scenario like when you're at a bar or club and you're just talking to a girl and like you don't really care, it's like your game is so on. Your game is so on point. But then it's like when you meet a girl, it's like, oh, I'm really interested in this person. Like I actually like them. Like your powers just like go away, disappear.
That
And you just
is,
like you like trip up. You're thinking too much. It's like, you know.
yeah. See, I mean, with my past and stuff like that, I'm to a point right now where it's like, you have to impress me, kind of like attitude. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But again, I also think that like what you said about honing your skills and being able, it's an ongoing process. It's a perpetual learning process that you have to be diligent, like a foreign language. If you don't use it, you lose it. That's so interesting. I can totally relate to that because, I mean, I would be lying if I said that I wasn't like rusty.
Yeah.
Like
over. For sure.
Yeah. So, but this is like learning experiences, right? Hearing stories like that certainly help me, try and figure out what what future relationships could start. But anyway, so. That was a good story. That was a good story. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm glad you shared
I'm
that.
gonna tell a good story at my expense.
Oh, it was hardly at your expense.
Well, you're right.
I mean, you saw my reaction as you were told that story.
You're right.
I mean,
you're
honestly,
right.
you were the man in that instance, and I'm like,
yeah. I mean,
envious.
at first, I was embarrassed when that happened, like when all that happened 5 years ago, and then now it is a good story, and I don't really care about it at all.
Embarrassing? You thought it was embarrassing?
Oh, at the time when I'm walking away from the car, I was I didn't really know what to think.
No, for sure. But I mean, you had to been like, I did it, and she didn't slap me. Like,
yes.
Like there was
I've
no
never
resistance.
been in that position. I'll say, by the way, I have never put myself in a position where a girl hates me
Rejects
so
you.
much, or something where she smacks her across the face.
Okay.
Never have ever.
Not even Nicole.
No, never.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome, man.
But there are some people out there that no matter what you do or say, will always find a way to dramatize a scenario.
Oh, trust me, I'm fully aware of that. You're speaking
right.
speaking my language.
I'm speaking your language. Yeah, you have way more experience with that
on the same page,
than
right?
myself or Neil. You've got like a couple lifetimes.
Oh
of
my
experience
goodness,
with
far
that.
too many lifetimes.
That's really funny. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But so maybe I'm a little more cautious than perhaps the average person.
Yeah. For sure.
That's part of, especially since all things considered, it's like don't want to make the same mistake again.
But someone too was telling me. I was talking to who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody, and we were talking about just like general situations, like with girls and stuff, and this person had like the complete opposite approach / mentality when like given a certain scenario or like how you treat the situation, and also like there's no one right way to do things. Like you just eventually, no matter who you are, you just need to find your style. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
You need to find your style.
At seminary, I definitely found my style.
Yeah.
Like I could appreciate that I was a nerdy white guy.
Yes.
And I was comfortable in my own skin. And yeah, you know what? I may be a little like awkward and clumsy and stuff, but I can laugh at myself.
Yeah.
Like I can just be at peace. And
Yes.
yeah, I mean that is
gotta
one
find
thing.
yourself,
And that's sort of decreased anxiety, right? Because if you know who you are, it doesn't matter whether or not they reject you. Like you still like who you are, kind of thing. Like you have validation yourself. If not that person, then someone else, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And you learned that, I felt like back in high school, man.
I probably started figuring that out in
like
high
junior
school.
year. Well, dude, I mean, you know the nicknames and rumors that people
Oh my
spread
gosh.
about you.
No.
Yes, I know. But regardless, like the whole point of me saying that is that you knew who you were.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you were
yeah,
comfortable
right,
in
right,
that.
right, for sure.
And it was I'm sure like knowing yourself going into college was great for you.
Yeah, it's a never-ending process. I think. Also, it comes with age. Like you're entering different stages of your life. Like you obviously change as a person. So even if once you like what worked at 24, 25, even if you're at the top of your game when you're 29, 30, 31, like that is going to be changing.
Oh my God.
Whether especially
I know.
if you're still like single and you're not married or have a serious girlfriend, like that your priorities change. You're not
Yeah.
trying to go out to the club all the time. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
totally. You actually get tired at night.
Yeah. Yeah. You can only operate until about 11:30 at night, and then you need to go home and recharge.
I know. I will say though, I mean, I'm like living college days right now.
Really?
The lack of sleep that I've had has just been. I mean, and I feel like I'm operating, well enough, but
I went
it's
out
just
the other
like,
night
ugh.
and met up with a couple of my friends, and I met up when I was coming back from the show on Saturday. It was like 10 o'clock. I had 2 beers, and I was home by 12:30, and I was like, man, whew, this was not a long night, but it was like, man, 2 beers, stayed out until 12:30. I was practically,
That's a
practically
crazy
living life
night,
on the
man.
edge.
That's living life on the edge. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, it's really, dude. Let me tell you. So, aside from prepping for the ordination service yesterday, oh my God, it was only like 12 hours ago. Or 24 hours ago. Ended up going, like I said, to Greenpoint to do repair work.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much worse than I could have ever imagined.
Doing the repair work?
So, Anne my boss Anne had told me that she was hoping to have like some drywall repair done. And she's like, you did drywall for many years, and can you come and do it?
But so the actual drywall work was a nightmare.
I'm getting to that.
Okay. Okay.
So I had walked into it assuming that it was drywall work, right?
Yeah.
I know how to do that. Even repairs, whatever. This was plaster.
Oh, that's a completely different ballgame.
It's a completely
You explain the difference.
different ballgame,
I know
my
you
friend.
explain the difference to me, but go ahead and explain the difference to people who don't know.
Well, just briefly, the long and short of it is drywall is easy to repair.
Yeah.
It is cheaper, and there's less just issues with it. It's not gonna crumble as quickly or as fast. It's just everything about it is just so much simpler. Plaster, it was the original way that people did houses. So
Yeah.
like older houses, plaster, but it is a pain in the butt to try and patch up and make it look nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, just everything about it is just a challenge. And then, to top it off, this plaster, the paint on the plaster, was not primed on the ceiling on pretty much any room. And so here there's and it hasn't been touched up in decades, I'm assuming. At least 2 decades. And the paint's just
falling
off. So I'm chipping. And so suddenly there's this huge hole that needs to be I can't even use drywall mud. It has to be spackle.
Yeah.
I'm freaking using spackle. I do not have really any experience using spackle.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to drywall mud, but it's it is not as easy to just
to just throw
repair
on there.
without leaving some sort of lump or hump or whatever. It's this is the worst. So this is a mansion sized church.
Oh,
so there's
really?
15
Okay.
rooms, and maybe half of them need significant repair. Mostly the ceiling too.
Okay.
And here's the thing. So if I had the right equipment, if I had maybe somebody to help me, I would probably need about 2 to 3 weeks to be able to do it all properly and correctly.
Just you and one other
literally
person?
working every day for 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
But I would also need the right tools. I had 3 days with basically myself and none of the tools that I needed. And so I am trying like hell to at least, because they want to paint the rooms over again for the upcoming Sunday school class and make it look nice. And here I am, working literally until 3 or 4 in the morning, just trying to do it.
Oh,
now,
so that's why you haven't had any sleep.
yeah, no, I was really trying to get it done.
Okay.
Now, I did it to myself, but that's okay. There was a reason for me, sort of procrastinating.
Yeah.
Not even procrastinating. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining at all because it was well worth it. Because had I, whatever.
Yeah.
So Thursday night, I think I'd been there now 2 days, and I had one more day to go. I had Friday to be able to do it, and I was only going to probably be able to work maybe half the day or so. I'm like, there is no way I'm going to get this to a condition that is acceptable to be able to paint over it for the coming Sunday school class without like leaving it looking shitty or whatever. I had a freak out. I broke down and cried for the first time since my grandfather died.
Really?
Like I was
A bit of a
freaking-
meltdown?
I had a meltdown. I called my sister. I was like talking to her. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It's the worst. So it was that was a moment where I was just like, really? And Anne talked to me the next day. We had a chance to spend many hours together. We went to a memorial service, so I lost like half the day doing work there. But she said, "Don't worry about it. It's okay. Like you can always come back. Yeah, it'll work out." And it just in this very pastoral voice of like, "Bricks, it's okay. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just ministry's not perfect. Buildings aren't perfect. You do the best that you can.
Yeah.
And it'll be okay." And I'm just like, of course. Like, of course. You know, it's nice to have that reaffirming whatever.
So when you took on this job, did you know how much, like, when you saw the job, you didn't realize how much of a pain in the ass it was going to be?
Not at all. Not at all. And then I started digging into it, and I bit off more than I could chew.
But when you accepted it, had you took a look at the rooms? You'd seen the room? Oh,
no,
okay. So
no. She asked if I could do some...
Okay.
Well, actually, it was interesting because I looked back at the text, and she said... There's one drywall repair spot, but if you could do repairs and stuff like that, she didn't specify whether it was drywall or plaster.
Okay.
And she would have known the difference for sure, but I just didn't ask. I had seen a drywall patch, and I was like, oh, everything's drywall. Like, I should have known better. Really, I should have. So I spent basically, because we had the memorial service, and then I had, conversation with someone for another period of time. And by the time I was able to get going and try and finish it, it was another night till I went till about 3 a.m. But it looks good. The Sunday school classrooms turned out like it was crazy. I didn't think that I would have enough time to just at least make the wall smooth. Yeah, like that was my main purpose there is just to like flatten things out and make it acceptable. Like chip out some of the paint that's fallen out. They'll paint it. You know what? The paint's going to fall down in a couple of years anyway. It'll need to be redone, but it'll look nice for the next couple of years, at least.
Oh, my God.
So, anyway, that was kind of a rambling, but that was the bane of my existence. I was like, Anne, I'm living in a nightmare right now. This is my personal nightmare. Like, literal, this is what I imagine hell or purgatory to look like. Just being forced to do a plaster home in 3 days when you know that it would take weeks and weeks and without the right tools, where you're just like fumbling and bumbling.
Yeah.
And literally the worst part too is it was all ceiling work and I just had a ladder. And there's like 500 feet of ceiling. So literally every square foot, I gotta get down, move the ladder, get up, spackle, come down, move it. I am drenched in sweat. It is the worst. Like, this has gotta be what hell is like. Really.
Wow.
So anyway, that was kind of my thing.
Just to finish up on something positive before we end here. So I go to the beach a couple days ago for the first time this summer.
Oh, wow.
And I'm with Neil, and I stop in McDonald's on the way. It was his idea to go to the beach, too.
What?
And then...
No.
And then it actually happened, right?
That is the most shocking part about that whole thing.
So we're walking to the beach, and I go to the McDonald's by Second City just to get, something small to eat, just to get like a hamburger and a small fry, not a meal, just a couple things. And they have this kiosk that you order that you can touch the screen and make your order. And so I did that because there were a couple of people in line. First of all, it's a huge pain in the ass. Like, I don't want to be touching a screen. I just want to tell someone what I want, right?
Isn't that weird how they're trying to, like, force that on us?
Right?
Yeah.
I just want to tell somebody what I want.
It feels, like, instantaneous as opposed
and
to
because
processing.
I have to, like, I'm like, wait, okay, so this is the $1, $2, $3 menu. So clicking here, these are the items. Okay, I want a hamburger, and I have to click this for, okay, no pickle to click. Okay, no, -1 pickle, -2 pickle. Okay,
Wait, no, what?
because it's
No.
like two. Okay, oh wait, go back.
Cheese, extra cheese,
Now
no
where's the
cheese.
French fry? Okay, here. I'm gonna touch all this different shit. I just want to say what I want, and I slide my card, and it's like declined, and I can't. Oh, because I slid it instead of inserting it, so I had to do the fucking thing over again.
No, you
Yeah.
have to redo everything.
So I'm sitting there for what it was probably just like maybe 3 to 5 minutes. I don't know, but it felt like forever.
yeah, when it could have taken 30 seconds.
Right.
to
And
order
then
per
I
person.
insert my card, thank you for payment, get my receipt. And then I look up, it's like, well, what the fuck? Because now, by the time that I have the order done, had I waited in line the same time I gone up, I would already either have my food or come very close to having it. So then I'm waiting like another few minutes just to get my food, which seems like forever. Anyway, I get my food, we go to the beach, we come back, and then Neil's like, oh, I want to get McDonald's because he didn't eat anything at all. I was just the one. So I'm like, that's fine. I'll get a meal because I'm still hungry. I got like a little baby hamburger and baby French fries the first time. So then I go up and I actually order from somebody, which gets done in 5 seconds. Get my food. Oh, and Neil went to the kiosk. I'm like, bro, you're making a big mistake. You were
I'm
standing
sure he
right
would,
next to me
yep.
when you saw me
Yep.
use this thing. So, of course, I get my food before
Neil.
Neil by like 5 minutes.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
But the coolest thing is, I go on my bank website, and I see my credit card had gotten charged the second time when I ordered my meal. You know, $6.33. I used my ATM card the first time at the kiosk, and it doesn't show up on there. I'm like, okay, this is weird. I don't know, maybe it'll show up a day later, but usually this stuff shows up instantaneously. Bro, it's been 3 days. I got the receipt. I paid for my baby French fry and baby hamburger.
But it's not.
The money never got taken out of my bank account.
Well, that's a nice little treat.
It never got taken out of my bank account.
Well, maybe you should use kiosk from now on.
No, it's a waste of time.
It's a
I'd
waste
rather
of
just
time,
talk
even
to
if you get a free
somebody.
meal.
Yeah, but I was like, this is weird because
That
I'm
is
waiting.
weird.
Because sometimes what you can do with a bank card, if you don't type in your PIN number, you just hit credit right away. It'll do it as it'll be credit, quote unquote, meaning it's not going to draw it out of your bank right away. It'll wait like 2 days before
Like
it
the
takes
pending or whatever.
Yeah, before it takes the money out. But I haven't, and I keep getting messages from my bank saying, because I get paid in a few days, and I always just take all my money and just move it over into my savings account, and I just leave myself with like $25-$50 for a few days before I get paid again.
Okay.
So my bank keeps messaging me like every day, like, you only have $25 in your checking account. You only have $25 in your checking account. You only have $25 in your checking account. It's like, fuck, like, it was less than $3, but I didn't pay
That's
for
nice.
it.
No, that's
Yeah.
really nice.
So that was a nice little bonus.
Wow. So that was the story?
That was Yep, all of that for about 5 minutes.
I love it. I love
was
it.
just
that is
to
the
tell
essence,
you
that is the
that-
essence of stream of thought, man.
That was all just to tell you I went to McDonald's and I didn't pay for anything, even though I got a receipt.
Oh, that made me so happy. Oh my goodness, I've missed this.
And we're done.
And scene.